Another long form? Uh-oh. You might remember I talked about them in my last video and talked about how that one hymn that they sang was one of my favorites. I mentioned BWV 137. Let me explain something real quick. So, Johann Sebastian Bach put a lot of Lutheran hymns to music, and he did it really well. When we think of Handel's Messiah, that's one thing, but I personally feel as if Bach's version of things is out of this world. Now, why am I bringing this up in a channel dedicated to Armstrongism and biblical weaponization? I feel as if Christian churches today have gone way too far soft, focusing too much on the happiness of everything, without looking at the reality of life. And that is what these things do. And I'm going to provide an example. First, we'll start with happy. I'm going to be putting my personal English translation on the bottom. I've done a lot of work to try to make sure that these lyrics match as close as possible to the German. We're going to do one happy, one not so happy. And you still encounter this hymn today in churches. It's a very popular hymn in English as well. But churches don't like to talk about how real it can become. Remember, this was written 300 years ago. Stuff got real. This particular hymn comes from BWV 13. These hymns hit real and they hit home. And you will almost never find them in church. Maybe Lutheran church, but nowhere else. You might come across them in German, but you have no idea what they mean. I think Christians tend to forget that life does get real. And I feel as if remembering when, like, the Psalms that are so filled with despair sometimes, and coming across these hymns that are also filled with despair, to just go and be happy-go-lucky all the time is not realistic, and it's not what Christ was talking about. So, in terms of weaponization, churches will often just slap happy faces on things, and it's fake. Let's be real.